Please take your seats. The meeting is about to begin. Remember to speak into the microphone, as this meeting is being recorded for public record. Please stand by. We are going on air in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the June 6th Board of Adjustment meeting. It's been a couple months since we had a meeting, so it's great that we're back here in the Commission chambers. We do only have one item, so it should be a pretty quick meeting. Hope everyone has a great summer, and let's go ahead and kick it off with attendance. Mr. Madden, please.
Alrighty, good morning, everybody. We'll take attendance. Mr. Goldberg?
Here.
Mr. Davis?
Here.
Mr. Krennic?
Here.
Ms. Mermelli? Mr. Nagler is absent. Ms. Silverman? Here. And Mr. Silvers? Here. Present. So we do have a quorum. We have 6 of 7 members present.
Perfect, great. Mr. City Attorney, if there's any updates, are there any updates this morning?
No updates, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and ask that you swear in the public that is, well, actually, you'll first advise how to participate via Zoom, and then swear in anyone here in the public that will speak, and you'll swear in anyone that participates via Zoom as they're called.
Perfect.
City Attorney, thank you.
Good morning, all. Today's meeting of the Board of Adjustment has been scheduled in a hybrid format with a quorum of the board physically present in the Commission chambers located at 1700 Convention Center Drive, and applicants, staff, and members of the public appearing either in person or virtually via the Zoom platform. In order to participate in today's meeting, those wishing to participate via the Zoom platform may dial 888-853-5257 and enter the webinar ID, which is 828-6961-5309, or log into the Zoom app and enter the webinar ID, which is 828-6961-5309. Any individual wishing to speak on an item must click the raise hand icon if they are using the Zoom app, or dial *9 if they are participating by phone. Before I swear in those that will be testifying today, I'm going to advise all and read into the record the city's notice regarding lobbyist registration. If you are appearing on behalf of a business, a corporation, or another person, you need to register as a lobbyist with the city clerk's office. If you haven't registered yet, you should register before you speak to the board. You do not have to register as a lobbyist if you are speaking only on your behalf and not on any other party, or if you are testifying as an expert witness, providing only scientific, technical, or other specialized information or testimony in this public meeting, or if you are appearing as a representative of a neighborhood association without any compensation or reimbursement for your appearance to express support of or opposition to any item. Expert witnesses and representatives of neighborhood associations shall, prior to appearing, disclose in writing to the city clerk their name, address, and the principal on behalf of who they are communicating. If you are an architect, attorney, or employee representing an applicant or an objector, you must register as a lobbyist. These rules apply whether you are appearing in favor of or against an item, or encouraging or arguing against its passage, defeat, modification, or continuance. At this point, all those who are going to be testifying today, if you could please stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you'll be giving in this proceeding is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. Thank you, and please be seated. And with that, Mr. Chair, I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney. Mr. Madden, do we have any discussion items?
We have no discussion items today.
Okay, in your package, you had the minutes from our March 7th meeting. Hopefully you had a chance to review those. I'll entertain if there's any corrections or changes that need to be made. If not, I'll ask for a motion to approve those minutes. Okay, motion by Mr. Silvers, second. Second by Mr. Davis. I haven't seen you in a moment again. Mr. Davis, got to remember your names. I'm a little bit rusty. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Great. We do have 2 requests for continuances. The first one is going to be ZBA 22-0143, 153 Collins Avenue. Mr. Madden?
Yes, so the applicant for this appeal is currently, they're working it out with other parties, and they're requesting that the item be continued to the October 17th meeting. and they're here in case you have any questions.
Okay, any questions on that? If there's no questions, we need to go ahead and have a motion to approve the
Yes.
continuance.
Motion to approve the continuance.
Motion by Mr. Davis, second. Okay, second by Mr. Silvers, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? That passes. The second request for continuance is ZBA 24-0161, 605 Lincoln Road, Unit 800RF. Mr. Madden?
This item as well, they're requesting a continuance, and they are requesting a continuance to the July 30th meeting.
Okay, any questions on the continuance? You want to recognize?
Or if you'd like a different date, feel free.
Yeah, I had spoken to Nick Kalergis.
Oh, I apologize.
There is litigation between the parties involved in this. We
For the
actually,
record, state your.
I apologize. My name's Carter McDowell with Bills and Sunberg, 1450 Brickell Avenue, representing the applicant. We actually would also ask that this be continued to the October meeting. We're hoping that if the litigation gets resolved, we may not come back to bother you. But litigation takes time. And we're not handling the litigation. Co-counsel is handling that. So we would ask that this also be continued to the October 17th meeting, please.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for council? Okay, I need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Okay, motion by Mr. Davis, second. Okay, second by Mr. Silvers, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, that passes, thank you. Okay, so let's go on to, are there any previously continued applications?
There are no previously continued applications.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the one application that we have, which is going to be ZBA 25-0179, 3741 Royal Palm Avenue. Mr. Madden, please
Okay,
read that up.
I'll read the title. An application has been filed requesting variances of the maximum unit size and lot coverage to allow for the enclosure of an outdoor terrace for an approved two-story home that is currently under construction. This is a rare case where we have a home that is currently under construction. They have an approved building permit, and they are seeking a variance while they are currently undergoing construction to make some modifications before the home is completed. The home is currently approved with an outdoor terrace in the rear yard. This is a covered terrace with columns, and the applicant is requesting a variance of the lot size and unit size in order to be able to enclose that terrace. So they're proposing essentially keep the terrace as it is, but put windows up so that it becomes an interior space rather than an outdoor space. This does result in a slight increase in the unit size and lot coverage. So the unit size would go up to, the maximum allowable unit size is 50%. They're requesting to go to 54.13%. So this would result in a home with a unit size of 6,089.54 square feet. They currently have a unit size of 5,432 square feet, and the maximum allowed would be 5,625 square feet. The same would go for the lot coverage. Anything, any projections from the enclosed space that project beyond 5 feet have to count towards the lot coverage. Currently, the applicant is very close to the maximum lot coverage, which is 30%. They're at 29.91%, which is a square footage of 3,365 square feet is the current lot coverage, and they're proposing to go to 4,023 square feet. So that would take them to 35.76% of a lot coverage. The home in and of itself is not increasing in mass because this is an area that is approved, that is under construction. So there's no negative impacts in terms of the massing. And staff does recommend that if the variance is approved, that there be a condition included that they not be allowed to make any additional outdoor terraces to the rear of the home, so that the massing of the home doesn't grow beyond what is currently there. The applicant has indicated two hardships. The first is it's a practical difficulty that they have a elderly family that they wish to move into the home, and so they would like a little additional space. So that would be a practical difficulty. The second hardship that they identify is that they are on the same block as the 40th Street Religious Institution overlay. So the northern parcels on this block are designed like single-family homes, but they are allowed to be religious institutions, and they do contain several religious institutions in those structures. So this block is, the applicant claims, is subject to additional noise and traffic impacts that your typical residential block may not be subject to, creating the need to have more indoor space as opposed to outdoor space. Staff is not opposed to the granting of the variance, given that it does not increase the overall massing of the home. The variance is minimal. It is a space that's already there, and with the condition that no additional terraces be added onto, the mass of the home won't grow any further. So with that, staff recommends that the application be approved, subject to the conditions in the attached order.
Okay, before I hand it over to the council, are there any disclosures on the dais? No? Okay, so I'll go ahead and hand it over to Mr. Riccio. 10 minutes, okay, to start? If you need more, let me know.
Yeah, I can probably go quicker than that.
Okay,
Thank you, Mr.
it's all
Chair.
yours.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, everyone. For the record, my name is Tony Rescio with law office at 2800 Ponce de Leon Boulevard, Suite 1200 in Coral Gables. I'm here on behalf of the Amanoff family. That's their family entity, 3741 Royal LLC. That's technically the applicant because they're the owner of the property, but this is the Amanoff family home. It's under construction as we speak. They're about 6 months away from finishing. And the reason we are here is because Mr. Amanoff has had a kind of a change in family circumstances over the last year or two, and since they designed the home, and they've realized that they're going to need a little bit more space than what they originally contemplated for their forever home. So let me walk you through what this application entails. Oh, and I also have Mr. Fernandez here, Manny Fernandez, who is the architect of the project, in case there are any questions. He can respond to any questions that you have. The property, let me give you kind of the lay of the land. It's just over 11,000 square feet, zoned RS4, single family. As I said, the owner's home is under construction, under building permit BR 2004631, and the home includes an L-shaped covered terrace in the rear yard. That's the red that you see right there. Okay, that is already a covered terrace. It is just open to the elements. It's open on the north. What happened here? Pardon me, technical difficulty. What happened here? No. Staff, you know, please load this up. There we go. Hey, all right.
I just have to walk up.
We're back. Thank you. Very succinct. Thank you, Stephanie. So this covered terrace, which is open on the three sides. The three sides are set back about 22 feet from the east side, about 11 feet from the north side, about 10 feet from the south side. That covered terrace is what we're looking to enclose. It's essentially we're putting windows. It's already got a roof. It's already got a floor. When we're enclosing it in windows. That's the whole concept of this application. And then we are reconfiguring space inside. Okay. Why are we doing that? Okay. The Amanoffs have realized that they got to move their parents in. Their parents are getting on in years. They walk to Temple. The current walk to Temple is about 15 to 20 minutes, which doesn't sound like a lot, but the older you get, with this heat and humidity, that's becoming more difficult for them. This house is much closer. So what they've done is reconfigure the space to include a second bedroom on the ground floor. They already had their master on the ground floor. They're adding a bedroom for their parents. It's got its own bathroom to give them kind of the privacy that they're looking for. That walk, as I told you, this is where the house is on the south, and their temple is just about a 3 to 5 minute walk away. So it's very convenient for the Amanoffs. It's also very convenient for their parents, more so even. This is the before, as you can see in that top, that would be the northwestern corner of the house, the top left. That was a kitchenette and laundry before. That's being redistributed as a bedroom. That's the bedroom that I showed you before. The other parts of the house are being a little bit redistributed. That pantry is moving over to the northeast corner. This is the after, and you'll see where the pantry is now in the northeast corner. I think I have that highlighted. The kitchen has also been redistributed. Because the Amanoffs celebrate certain holidays that require a certain level of cleanliness in the kitchen area. The pantry, the spacious pantry, affords them the ability to do that in a separate space and keep that clean and clean it when necessary without disrupting the kitchen during those days. The Amanoffs are also, Manny Amanoff, the patriarch, well, I guess not, the son of the patriarch, is also the president of his congregation. He does host Shabbat fairly regularly, so the dining room has been expanded a little bit, just to provide the space necessary. So the particular requests specifically are about just under a 5% increase to the maximum unit size. The maximum unit size for this lot is 50% of the lot. That's 5,625 square feet. We're looking to exceed that by about 4%. The lot coverage is also technically affected, but I want to stress, there's no added footprint to the home. It's the same home, it's just enclosing what was already covered space with windows. And I know I've said that a couple times, I just want to really, really emphasize that. These two requests are variances. Variances under your code can be justified for two ways, either through a hardship, the traditional hardship criteria, or through what's known as a practical difficulty. And what we are submitting to you is that the practical difficulty here is occasioned, it's both a personal practical difficulty and just a function of what they do. So that is the practical difficulty here, the fact that they're moving their parents in and need to reconfigure the space for it. Again, they're not adding to that footprint. I know I keep saying that. They're not changing the setbacks. They're not modifying any other aspect of the house other than the interior configuration and just enclosing that area. In terms of the buffering around it, they've got they've got walls and fences throughout the perimeter. They've got 3 levels of landscaping at 16 feet, at 12 feet, and at 8 feet to basically provide the privacy both to them and to their neighbors. And that's the idea. I would say that the enclosed space and the gathering that can occur in the enclosed space is going to be a lot quieter for their neighbors than anything outdoors. So, and I'll just show you a couple more things. This is the site. The property immediately to the rear of it is about just over 7,000 square foot home, about 15% larger. So this house, even with the enclosure, is still very much in scale with the lot. And as Mr. Malan had mentioned before, the area includes the religious institution overlay. There's actually a non-home-like congregation that meets on the north end of the block. That's the parking lot that you see there, and then there's also the commercial corridor just north of that. So that's basically the concept. The staff is recommending approval, subject to conditions. We accept those conditions. We agree to abide by them. We do have letters of support from 4 neighbors in the area. Stephanie, please submit that for the record, that we'd like to submit for the record. Let me see if I can find those for you. Hang on a second. I'm trying to give you the fast forward version, but these are where the letters of support are. The house is the gray one that you see right there. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions, or we've got Mr. Fernandez here to answer any technical questions that you may have.
Great, thank you. So before we open up the board to questions, I'm going to open up the public comment. Do we have anyone on Zoom? Mr. Madden?
I don't see anybody with their hands raised on Zoom. I do see that the owner is on in case anybody has any questions.
He had to travel. He was on business, so I'm glad that he was able to log on.
Okay, great. All right, with that, I'll go ahead and close the public comment, and then I'll open it up for questions from the board through the chair.
Mr. Chair, if I just may make one clarification, in the draft order that was in the original packet, we had an incorrect name for the applicant listed from the template that we used. So we have since corrected the draft order. We've handed out copies, and it's just the name change. It just says that it's the applicant is 3741 Royal LLC.
Yep. Great. Thank you. Questions from the board? Mr. Koenig?
So the additional bedroom is in part of the terrace area, or it's next
No.
to the terrace area?
No, the bedroom is actually on the front corner of the house. What the terrace area now will be expanded will be the pantry, like I said, expansion of the dining room a little bit, and an expansion of the living area.
Okay. And just the operating congregation that's close by, I mean, I assume that congregation's been operating for a while, or
Yes.
that's something new?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
And it's actually in the commercial corridor. It's not on the block.
Okay. Other questions? Ms. Silverman?
So, it's just technical, but on the new draft order that we have, it says that it's file number ZBA 250161, and on the agenda, it says 0179. I don't know if that needs to be changed.
That's probably carried over from the other,
Oh,
they carried over.
Good catch.
Good,
Thank
good
you.
catch. Good catch. Thank you, Ms. Silverman.
Thank you for
Great
that.
catch. Other questions? Ms. Morelli, nothing? You good?
I would say,
Good. And
given the nature of the community, I think it is beneficial for the city as well as the neighborhood to enclose it.
Mr. Davis, you're good?
I drove by the property. It looks quite large relative to the other properties on this side. I know you said there's the house on Sheridan that's bad. I didn't
Sorry, could you turn on your microphone? I apologize.
Can you hear me?
Thank you.
No, I see, the property is quite large relative to the neighboring properties on Royal Palm. It's actually, it looks significantly larger, which didn't excite me, but I know you're not expanding the footprint, so that doesn't, so my excitement is irrelevant.
Thank you. I will say it looks larger because it has to be higher.
No, I understand.
The higher elevation.
I understand,
That
and we
kind
know
of
the
plays with that.
Flood
But-
resiliency is
Yes.
very positive in the city of Miami
Exactly.
Beach.
Good. Yeah. Mr. Silvers, you're good? Any questions? No? I've got a couple. Can you do me a favor and put back up the slide where you had the letters of support?
Absolutely.
I just want to make sure I'm saying, which one is the subject, the gray one? So the first one on the bottom is the subject house, right? Or I just want to make sure.
No. So the one on the bottom, so the four highlighted are the four letters from the neighbors.
And the
then
subject
one-
property is right in the middle? of
Right
the-
in between those two middle ones, yes.
Okay, so the one behind it, I guess it would be to east. You didn't get a letter of support from the
Yeah.
house directly behind them.
Yeah,
Have they been spoken to?
he had,
Or,
he was definitely spoken to. I think he originally wanted to purchase this property from the owner.
because he's the one that would be most impacted.
Yeah, well, he would, except that, remember, the
What's going to
setback
be
is,
enclosed?
the
Yeah, well,
setback isn't
why not?
changing
Yeah,
at
it's
all.
going to be enclosed, but I would,
Correct, yeah.
okay, so he wouldn't do less work. Couple other quick things. It's under an LLC, and I'm not sure if it's relevant, but I'm just kind of curious, when someone typically buys a house to be their primary residence, it's bought under a personal name, not an LLC. I got to put my banker hat on.
Sure.
Is there a reason why it was purchased under an LLC?
I think it has to do with during the construction, they were trying to mitigate their liability.
Maybe
Yeah,
liability. Okay,
Absolutely.
You know what, that totally
Yeah,
makes
they're gonna have to
sense.
convey it to themselves anyway, because they
They
want
can't do homestead if
They
it's
want
under an
homestead
L.
on
They
it.
can't declare a homestead.
Yeah,
so
exactly,
they'll-
so that will resolve itself.
They'll take a hit on that. The other thing, and this is really a question for staff, because I haven't seen this. I've been on the board 6 years. I'll be termed out at the end of this year. Practical difficulty, is this, the applicant has identified a need to allow for a multi-generational family to occupy the home as a practical difficulty. I mean, if you look at our standards of what practical difficulty is and hardship, that doesn't really fall under that? Or I just kind of want to expand on that because, precedent and,
Right.
anything can happen, once we approve this.
So we have two standards. We have the hardship standard and the practical difficulty standard. The hardship standard is very precise, and you see those criteria listed in the code and listed in the staff reports. And then the practical difficulty is sort of open-ended. There's no precise definition of what that is. So it's really up to this board to determine if they feel that what they're presenting is a practical difficulty. It's not a very precise set forward standard that we have for that.
A little bit of subjectivity.
A little bit.
And if
I don't-
something
yeah.
happens and the house is sold and they don't move into it, I always say everything's for sale.
Mm-hmm.
People build houses that want to move into, and someone knocks on the door and makes them an offer they can't refuse. You sell the house. That's Miami
Mm-hmm.
Beach. So, okay, I just wanted to get the clarification on that. Thank you so much.
I would want to emphasize, Mr. Chair, that because it's so close to where they are and it's so convenient, this is their house. I want to just put that on the record. They're not going anywhere. They're not
Yeah,
selling.
they're on they're on 47th Street now. Right? Correct.
Correct.
Yeah, so that's
43rd.
actually
43rd. The parents, you're saying?
Or the parents live where?
The
now?
parents are on 43rd and Adams, about 15,
Okay.
20 minutes away.
Okay,
Yeah.
but Mr. Amnoff is on 40.
Yeah.
They have a house on 47th, which is
That's a different property that
Oh,
they
that's a
own.
different property.
Different property, that's not this one. And
Oh, okay.
not
Okay.
associated with this.
Okay, awesome, okay. That makes sense.
And the reason for the redesign is mostly because the parents need to be downstairs,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
yeah,
because if the
exactly.
parents could be up a flight of stairs, then there's extra bedrooms in this house.
Absolutely, yeah. But if they could be upstairs, if they could make the 15 to 20-minute walk, they could probably be upstairs.
Yeah, I drove by the house this morning, which I always do. I always look at the properties, and it's amazing. I'm born and raised on the beach, and you see these houses, and you want to maximize the best you can. But there's a lot of houses that, and the one behind is larger. But they're making a big investment in building the house. It looks good. It makes sense, and I agree with you. Enclosing it is actually going to be a benefit to any of the surrounding neighbors, because if it's open, there's going to be a pool in the there. I don't.
Yeah,
there
it's
is.
a
'Cause if it was-
separate permit.
Yeah, if it was open, they can have people out there and pool parties, yada yada. So it's really more. It's going to be more. If I was a neighbor, I would be happy. I'd be happy to do it. So I don't have an issue. I don't have an issue with this. So, any more questions? Okay, with that, I'll entertain a motion. Okay, Ms. Morelli, motion to approve the variance as stated with the stipulation that the city put in there. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, second by Ms. Silverman. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you
all.
so much for coming here. I appreciate it.
All right, have a great Friday.
Okay, guys, so our next meeting is going to be July 30th.
Well,
July 3rd.
do we need it now because the one thing was continued? Are there other things on the agenda for that meeting?
We do have four
Yeah, we have
items on
four
the
items.
agenda.
Yeah, we have 4 items. That's why I wanted to make sure. So I just wanted to kind of just take a straw poll on, is there anyone that can, I know it's summer, some people go away. Anyone is not going to be able to attend the July 30th meeting?
July 30th, yeah. We polled
Day
the
before,
board
day
a few months
before.
ago because the commission requested that the date that we had previously scheduled, the commission took the date.
Okay,
Or
so-
one of the committees of the commission took the date.
So everyone's good for that date?
So it is July
July 30th.
30th.
Everyone's good, because we have 4 items. We want to make sure, sometimes if we go down to 5, someone may pull or want to continue an item.
I'm good, but just
Because then-
mentioning, I didn't realize the October meeting was on the 17th, and we, if we do end up hearing those continuances, I won't be here on the 17th,
Okay.
so just letting everyone know.
Okay, all right, so we'll be good for the July 30th meeting then, and we'll see what happens. Any other questions, good and welfare, before we close out the meeting?
I believe Mr. Nagler indicated that he would be out of the country on July 30th, so we do have one confirmed
So
absence.
he'd be the only one out, so we
Yeah.
still have 6. Okay, that's great, gives us some wiggle room. All right. As of today. Everything's always subject to change, right? Yeah. Okay, all good. All right, with that motion to close the meeting? So moved. Let's do it. Thank you so much, you all. Enjoy the summer. Stay cool.
you.
And the meeting is ended. Thank you.
Thank you.